Hey guys, this video might be kind of long, but there are some things that I need to clear up. While this is kind of a response to Shout the Hedgie, it's not like all directed at him. Most of what you're going to hear in this video are just thoughts that have been rolling around in my head for a while now that I just never scrounged up the motivation to talk about, but I may as well now. And that's actually how I make a lot of videos these days. While I do try to keep something of a schedule with some projects like playing with fire and my reviews and so on, which I'm actually doing a really piss poor job of lately, there are a lot of things that just pop into my head that I think, oh, that'd be nice to make a video about sometime. But then I never bothered to. Because if I made videos about every little thing that pops into my head, I would just be churning out lots of subpar content all the time, which I don't want. I want like everything I make on this channel to contribute to it somehow. That's why, like, when I made all those videos about my recent DA troubles, I took them all down afterward, like when the problem was resolved, save one video that actually was kind of funny, even though I didn't intend for it to be. There were some people who seemed to think it looked like I was living in a Stephen King movie, like some kind of flick based on some story he'd write. So I left that video up just because some people seemed to like it, even though it never supposed to like stay there. But anyway, point is, I actually do take down a lot of videos that I feel don't contribute anything to people's viewing experience here. I want to make every video that I make count, you know? And I may as well make a video like this every now and then, but usually it's not like really out of the blue, it's when it's like a reaction to something someone else does or says. Like every so often someone says something that finally sets me off, that triggers me. And not like in an angry way, just like it finally gives me an incentive to. Like where I go, oh wait, yeah, I did want to talk about that at some point. Alright, well I may as well now, you know, he's kind of giving me a reason to, beyond just wanting to sometime. So anyway, yeah. Now we can go on with the video, now that I've got all that out of the way. But like I said, it's going to be kind of long. Anyway, Shout the Hedgie recently made a video about Freedom Planet, the fan game that I made a video about a while ago. And, in it he said that I just wasn't tolerating anyone saying anything negative about the game in the comment section of my video about it. But here's the thing, negativity is not the issue. Point is, I want to promote constructive critique of games like this, not just outright bashing the developers and like making fun of them for making the game to begin with, and like trying to make them feel bad for it by saying, oh, the music is ear-raping and the visuals are ugly. And I know some of you are going to say, but Nick, you're being such a hypocrite because that's what you did in your Sonic Unleashed review when you talked about the daytime stages and you bitched about them and blah blah blah. Here's the thing you guys need to understand. The guy you see in that video is not the same guy you see here. Yes, it is me, but it is a me from a while ago when I was like a little less mature and a little more like hot-headed and whatnot. And it's not just the upload day of that video. That video was made years ago, like a year and a half after Unleashed came out. And that's plenty of time for my opinion of Sonic Unleashed to have changed a bit. I still think the daytime stages are dumb, but I don't hate them quite so, you know, vehemently, feverishly, whatever, as I did back then. I still don't like them, but I'm able to look at them a little more objectively now. The thing is, back then, I didn't have games like Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations to compare the daytime stages to. So back then, I was kind of in a panic. I was worried that this was just how all Sonic games were going to be from that point on, and that there was just nothing better in the future of Sonic, and thankfully I was wrong. But you know, at that time, I felt like, oh, I need to play some small part, I need to do my part in trying to save the franchise from devolving into more of this mush. Not by myself, you know, some people, they hear me say things like that, like, oh, so you think Sega just watched some of your videos and you saved Sonic or whatever. No, that's not what I'm saying. I was just trying to like spread the word, offer my sentiments, see if other people agree with it, see if they say these things, and that eventually Sega might catch wind of that, and then Sonic Team would address those complaints and try to improve whatever game they make next. See, when I say things like that, I do hope that something constructive comes out of it. I am trying to encourage the developers to make their next game better, for them to improve it, so that I won't have to keep complaining about those things that I complained about back then. And if I were to make another review of Sonic Unleashed at some point, I'd probably talk about it a little differently than I did back then. I probably wouldn't be quite so harsh in my delivery and whatever. So with that video, I find it becoming increasingly irrelevant like each day that goes by. It just becomes just a little bit more irrelevant as my opinion of it changes a little more. Still don't think the daytime stages are good, save for the last couple, like Adabat and some parts of Eggman Land, because that's when it finally got like really challenging, at least for me. But anyway, yeah, point is, when I bitch about games like that, I'm trying to offer constructive critique, and I hope that something good comes out of it at some point. But that's not the impression I get from guys like you, Shao the Hedgie, or Gligar13vids, or Mario to Plumber. You seem to model yourself after these guys. They seem to have been like a big inspiration for you and how you make your videos. But here's the thing I don't like about guys like you and him and Mario to Plumber. I'm going to focus mostly on Mario to Plumber. See, Mario to Plumber, I hate to break it to you guys, but he is a troll. Now, I know troll is a word that gets tossed around way too much by like too many people, and it just kind of loses meaning after a while, so I don't call that many people trolls. But I will call someone like Mario to Plumber a troll, because that's how I define a troll. You see, he is not for real. It's all an act. It's fake. This guy is just putting on a show and acting out his own little satire of how he views the classic Sonic fanbase, with this character he's made based on comments made by like the absolute worst members of that little community. And he's trying to propagate this view that's how they all are, that they all act like this Mario to Plumber, the guy. But I don't think he really acts this way in real life off camera. I can't imagine someone really just being that freaking dumb. And most people who see his videos, who aren't like huge fans of Sonic and won't be offended by the things he says, they see right through it right from the get-go. They're like, this guy can't be for real. He's obviously trolling. See, too many people toss the word troll around for like people who just disagree with them, and I try not to do that. But someone like Mario to Plumber, he's not serious about any of what he says. He is just actively trying to piss off as many people as he possibly can, because it's fun. And some of you might think that's what I was doing in my Sonic Unleashed review, but I really didn't expect it to piss many people off, and I'm surprised that it did, because I would have thought there'd be at least a few more people out there who would be able to agree with me back then, but there weren't. But anyway, yeah, again, one of my worst videos out there. But anyway. Okay, what was I going to say next? Oh yeah, the thing about you and Gligar13vids and so on, the way you go about it, the way you say things, the way you word things, it's like you're just being so over the top about it. A lot of the things you said in your recent video, I just didn't agree with, because there was something comical about it, satirical about it. It seemed like it was just some weird sort of satire of what, I don't know. But it just didn't seem like you were being serious about any of it. And if you were being serious, then you just came across as just this really foul-booted git, like a guy who's just in a really bad mood for who knows what over some game. And it's like, even a lot of people in the comments section, like, they were saying things, some positive, a few negative, but at least they tried to say things kind of objective about it. But then guys like Gligar13vids and you came along, and then a few of your fans came along, and you all started saying just this shitstorm of overly negative things about this game, in which you weren't even like trying to encourage them to improve the game, but basically just trying to make them feel bad for having the audacity to try making a game at all. Like, screw their artistic abilities or whatever, they just have no business making a game. Like, the only thing I saw that was even a little bit constructive was Gligar's suggestion that they try using the C++ engine. But the creator of the game said that would be impractical, because then he would have to start from scratch and make a game that might not even turn out as good as it is now. And I think that's perfectly fine, because I like the game the way it is. I don't just want a bunch of unimpressive wireframes everywhere like the ones you'd see in Mega Man X3. But aside from that one, like, you know, positive suggestion, that thing that actually could help them, you know, good on you for that, Gligar13vids. Aside from that, most of the things said by you and your friends or whatever, it seemed needlessly negative. Like, why even say things like that? Not trying to censor you or whatever, I'm just saying it seemed like pointlessly mean-spirited. And after a little while, some other people started commenting, and they're like, huh, funny how as soon as those guys showed up, there was this sudden shitstorm, just this really abrupt change in tone, and then it simmered down after a little while, and people started, you know, saying things that just seemed more honest. Less like you were, like the thing is, what you guys were saying, it doesn't really feel all that real. It reminds me of guys like Mario to Plumber, where it just seems like you're bloating it up. Now, one last thing I'm going to talk about. Jim Prophet Communist, who, surprise, surprise, I've actually kind of become pals with recently. Who could have seen something like that coming? See, back when he made those videos that I made videos in response to, in which I kind of pwned him, the things he was saying back then, somewhere in everything he was saying, he did kind of believe what he was saying, like, at the root of it all, but instead of being frank about it, instead of, like, being objective and, you know, just presentable about it, he intentionally bloated it up and fluffed it up and tried to put on a show to piss people off for the fun of it. And he's told me that that's basically what he does, and I hope that he doesn't get upset when he sees this video of me saying these things and basically blowing his cover. But I need to say that I know people who have done that, or at least claim to, and that you remind me of people like that. You seem like another one of these people who isn't really being all that honest about what he's saying, and, you know, somewhere in there there might be a little honesty, but for all I know, you don't really give a crap about this game. You're probably really apathetic towards it, just kind of meh, but you're trying to, like, put on this shit fit, just like acting out a play, basically, to get people like me pissed off. But I'm not pissed off because it's something I've seen all too many times before. And, I don't know, again, while this is kind of a response to your video, these are just things I've been thinking about for a while and just finally got out here. Sorry that this video is so long, guys, but I hope you got something out of it. Anyway, point is, I just don't know what to make of guys like you and Galaga13. Sometimes you kind of piss me off a little bit, but then I realize they don't really mean it. They're just putting on a show. They're trying to, you know, get guys like me riled up. But I can't let that happen. Anyway, if you could say something negative about Freedom Planet and try to, not even necessarily be nice about it, but just try to be reasonable about it, that's perfectly fine. The problem I had with what you were saying was, it was basically like, fuck you guys for making this game, you guys shouldn't make games at all, you know, the music is ear-raping, the art style is horrible, blah, 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 I hate this, blah, blah, I hate you for making it, blah, 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 blah. That's basically what it seemed like. And I guess I'm exaggerating a little bit there, and I understand if you try flipping this all around to say that I'm immature for saying the things I'm saying here or whatever, but the difference between me and possibly you is I really am being honest about all this. I am not trying to piss you off. I'm not trying to feed the trolls or whatever. I'm just trying to say something that, like, everyone can understand. And anyway, yeah, I guess that's that. Toodles, guys. I'll try to have my hit and run review online sometime soon.